Hi guys, welcome to a different type of squad builder by myself, Bateson87. This one is not built to win games, even though it could definitely win games, and it's a strange one because obviously you guys have been following real world football. You'll have seen who's qualified for the World Cup, who hasn't qualified for the World Cup, and the massive nations which unfortunately did miss out on the World Cup in Russia due to a bad qualifying campaign. Now today's video is going to be around the people who did not qualify, some of the big names that are going to be missing from the World Cup, and obviously missing out on them special cards which EA release for man of matches in international performances during the World Cup, maybe even something else as well, if it's anything like FIFA 14? Yeah, FIFA 14 with a World Cup add-on. So, if you guys do want MSP, PSN codes or cheat game codes, go and check out g2a.com, their link is down below. If you're trying to hit over 4,000 likes, that'd be absolutely brilliant. And guys, subscribe to me and make sure you do hit the bell button so you are notified when an upload does go live on the channel so you don't miss any of the content around. So, we are taking a look, guys. We have got, obviously, Ghana not making it to the World Cup. Not really any massive players, so I was going to put a power into the team, but I didn't need to in the end. Bravo, Chile not making it into the World Cup either, and that also does put us on to two other huge names which will be in the starting 11. America missed out as well. The United States, Pulisic, one of the most exciting young players in the world of football at the moment, doesn't get to put it on the limelight out in Russia either. We've also got the Italian beast, Insigne. A lot of controversy around that, and it will be discussed into the starting 11 as well. Verratti of PSG, Bonucci of AC Milan. Van Dijk of Southampton as well, missing out with Holland. Aurier missing out on the Ivory Coast, failing to qualify, and I think it was Morocco who actually beat them and did progress through to the World Cup instead. Also got Strootman in there as well. Doumbia misses out. Obviously, sweaty P4 players out there might hope he might get a special card out in the World Cup. That isn't going to be happening now. Algeria also not making it in. Mahrez and Slimani, I think, being some of the best two players for them, not making it. And we also have Wales as well. So Gareth Bale being probably the joint highest rated player, actually not making it into the starting 11 of this. So some huge nations: Italy, Holland, Wales. Had a really good Euros campaign, but it's more about the individual players which are going to be missing out. So we're going to build the team today around them. Obviously, if any of you guys is nation, if you're Dutch, if you're Italian, Welsh, let me know who you're going to be supporting at the World Cup instead of your home nation. And I presume a lot of people will be doing that as well. So we move on into the goalkeeper position, guys, and we have got an 89 rated goalkeeper. This one was very painful to watch, and even Iker Casillas did tweet about it as well. It was the fact that Buffon misses out on his World Cup. Like, that would have been the end of Buffon, I think, the World Cup, and it was the end, unfortunately, when they didn't qualify against Sweden. Buffon was obviously visibly upset and crying on the cameras, and honestly, it's understandable. A guy of Buffon's career, all the trophies he's won, even a World Cup as well, it would have been nice to see him go out at the World Cup stage and then decide to retire and finish, but the way it was done was pretty rough. In the centre-back position, joining him and getting that perfect link, guys, we do have his partner in crime, which is Chiellini, also not making it to World Cup of Italy. In the right-back position, we have Florenzi as well, him not making it to the World Cup with Italy. And then we have one which I'm going to talk about for a little bit, which is going to be an 83 rated player who you guys may have seen some videos floating around of it from the bench, where he's an untradeable, I think. An untradeable, and it should be there. Where is it? Yeah, Daniel De Rossi of Roma. Now, Daniel De Rossi, obviously one of the most passionate footballers you'll ever see. The way he plays, the way he shows passion for Roma and Italy as well. One of the training staff did go up to him and tell him that he would be coming on for the game against Sweden on the bench, and he was so angry because Insigne was sat on the bench with him, and I think it was translated to something like, why are you bringing me on? We're not looking to defend, we're looking to attack and qualify for the World Cup. And Insigne is just sat there confused as to what's going on, but the passion which De Rossi shows, it's going to be a shame to miss that quad of players at the World Cup, and it's a massive failure on Italy's part. And it'll be interesting to see how they do rebuild over the next 4 years, because they do have a really good bunch of youth players coming through the ranks. Going to be interesting though, and it's a shame to miss out on all 4 of the Italian players we have put into the starting 11. Now in the left back position we do go with a right back, so we are not really going for chemistry, guys. We are going to be going for Seamus Coleman. Obviously a leg break, sorry, did cause him to miss the qualifiers for Ireland, and that also means that David Miley is going to be missing out as well. But Ireland failed to qualify as they did get absolutely ramsacked by Ericsson and the Danish team in their World Cup qualifier second leg. I think they did have a 0-0 draw in the first leg, and then got smashed, I think it was 5-1. With Bender actually scoring the final goal. So Seamus Coleman makes it in. He would have been recovered and ready for the World Cup, but unfortunately Ireland won't be going now. In the centre-back position, we move over to the Premier League, and one which I presume a lot of you guys have got in your club anyway. It is going to be... I may as well go high to low now. It is going to be Bailly, the centre-back of Manchester United. The Ivory Coast did not qualify. And Bailly, Aurier, all them good guys don't miss out on the World Cup in Russia. And obviously it would have been nice to see how we did perform in there with the Ivory Coast. But a lot of people are like, well, where's Touré at? And Touré actually retired from the national team, I think, in 2016. So he doesn't make it in. But Bailly would have been nice to see him at the World Cup. And his team is pretty stacked, to be fair, guys. In the centre midfield, we do have a centre mid from the Premier League now. We've got 2 Premier League players remaining, I think. The first one is going to be a non-rare. And I may as well say it's Premier League, actually. It's going to be a non-rare, and it is... Well, Clarkson misses out, and obviously the others. But it's going to be Ramsey of Wales as well, making it into the team. Him and Bale and a few other Welsh players lost out to Ireland in the last qualifying match. Actually before the playoffs, wasn't it? Yeah, so the qualifying match before the playoffs, and Wales went out as well as Ireland as well, and that's why we've thrown Ramsey into the team. In the centre midfield position from the Bundesliga this time round, and it's one of the highest rated Chilean players. And it's going to be untradeable for me, actually. It is Arturo Vidal, not going to the World Cup. Chile failed to qualify, and another high-rated player in FIFA. Would have been nice to see him get a special card when it does come to the World Cup as well. Potentially, he may have a card special inform as this video does go live, but I don't know that yet. In the left forward position, we go to the Premier League. Actually, no, we'll go to right forward first, because we have a strong link who misses out on the World Cup, and one which... was a shame, really, because it would have been his final bow out, a bit like Buffon's as well. And it is going to be Arjen Robben of Holland. Missing out, retired from international football now, and also Schneider, etc. do miss out on the World Cup as well. So in the left forward position to finish off, guys, we'll go back to the Premier League and complete it, and it is going to be Alexis Sanchez not making it. He's going to be at home, probably in Chile, watching the World Cup, and he misses out on the World Cup also. So high-rated players, and when I said the joint highest rated, obviously Gareth Bale is the highest. Same with, actually, there's quite a few 89s missing out. There's so many high-rated players missing out, which could have got nice individual cards. And now we move back to the Bundesliga to finish off, guys, and it is going to be a decent player in Ultimate Team, one I really, really struggle to defend against. Not really a massive nation, not really expected to qualify for the World Cup, but Gabon. Gabon didn't qualify either, and we put Aubameyang in there, 88 rated, missing out on the World Cup. Now that starting 11 is absolutely insane, considering, like, imagine if that was an individual team, you would probably expect that to qualify for the World Cup, but it hasn't. All these players on the bench, on the reserves, in the starting 11 miss out. And like I said at the start of the video, guys, if you do follow your nation and they haven't qualified for the World Cup, which nation are you going to go and support now? And I can imagine, actually, even England fans, they'll probably be selecting another nation as well, so don't worry about that. So if you guys have enjoyed the video up until now, something a little bit different anyway. If you've enjoyed the video up until now, feel free to leave a like rating on it. Subscribe to me if you're not subscribed already, guys. And we're back in a sec. So the highlights, we did manage to get with this team, and I get to have a play around with a few players I've not used this FIFA, like Aubameyang, Robben, Ramsey, De Rossi, Florenzi I've not used, Coleman I've not used, and even Buffon as well. So it's going to be a nice play around for me at this stage of FIFA. So guys, leave a like, rate, and subscribe. Not, let's go and get into the highlights. So guys, moving on into the team itself, and to play around with the likes of Robben, Aubameyang, and I forgot who moved left forward, wasn't it? But a bunch of players nonetheless, a bunch of high-rated players, and having a play around in the daily knockout. Now, the first game was pretty easy, guys. Fast link-up play between Aubameyang, Alexis Sanchez, and Alexis Sanchez scores a brilliant finish shot there. Dodgy keeping, don't get me wrong, but we should be used to that in FIFA 18 by now anyway. and we go 1-0 up. So the team was playing alright. Coleman was doing alright on 6 chem as well. There was a few low chem players, including Bailly and even Vidal in the middle. But it linked up very nicely, and with, obviously, you guys know the calibre in the daily knockout anyway, it's going to be pretty easy. And even Florenzi, is that Florenzi? Gets on the score sheet, guys, and does make it 2-0, causing my opponent to leave the game. So, with that said, do you think I've missed any other huge players out from this team who are going to be missing the World Cup? Not due to injury, but mainly down to the fact that the nations haven't qualified, because a lot of other big names will be missing out on the World Cup. Actually, even Bale's going to miss it due to being injured as well, potentially. If he'll be back in time, I'm not 100% sure on that. I am not a doctor, but I don't know. It's going to be a World Cup missing some huge names, but then again, we're going to be obviously gifted some really, really good players there anyway, and may even find out some new ones who are coming through the ranks and maybe even carry their nation to a decent finish in the World Cup. But we're moving into the second game, guys. Started messing around as I think the opponent dropped the controller, but I wasn't sure because he was still doing some stuff in this quarter-final, and Vidal pumps it through here to Ramsey through to Aubameyang with the ball through to Ramsey, and Ramsey gets on the score sheet, making it 2-0. Not long after that, guys, the game did disconnect, and we were given passage into the semi-final. Semi-final comes around in the first couple of minutes. Aubameyang dancing on the ball. He's able to see the runner of the inside of De Rossi controls it nicely, gets out to Robben works it onto his left foot and finesse it into the bar, which goes over the line anyway, and we make it 1-0. But then after that, guys, we unfortunately did concede 3 goals to my opponent, which was a little bit frustrating, but what can you do, guys, when you've got a team of players who can't even qualify for the World Cup? But we did get a consolation goal in the 76th minute as Aubameyang puts the ball through to Alexi. Nice bunch of 1-2s, ball over to Ramsey, and Ramsey gets his second as he puts it into the back of the net. But unfortunately, like a lot of players in the team, guys, we came short, do not qualify for the Weekend League on this account, and unfortunately did lose on the semi-finals. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this type of video, something a little bit different, having to play around with a lot of players, which obviously aren't going down to the World Cup, and get commenting down below who you think we're missing and who you're going to be supporting come Russia.